Welcome back everyone. We are here, it is a new year and we're tackling the fabled omelette. Now we're going for a French style of omelette, which means there's not going to be a lot of colour. It's all about controlling of the temperature, the flavour and texture of the eggs. We're hitting it with a bit of aged parmesan and a good glug of truffle oil. Let's get it. Let's get cracking. Now, omelette is a story of a few ingredients. First of all, it's eggs. I've used free-range organic British eggs. When I buy my eggs from the supermarket, there's a couple of things to look out for. First things first is the Lion stamp. It means it's been pasteurized and scanned for salmonella, so these are safe to eat. Secondly, the little UK stamp on the bottom. Thirdly, the date that's punched into the side of the egg. The freshest eggs are always going to be the best, so stick your hand right to the back of the shelf when you're selecting yours for home. These are free-range British eggs, and I've gone for the large size. Now get yourself a metal bowl and a fork, and we crack 4 eggs straight into the bowl. I like to take the point of one egg, tap it into the belly of the other one, and then open that up straight into the bowl. Take a fork. We're just whisking these up, but you don't want to do it too fast. It's all about maintaining the integrity of the egg. That's also why we don't season it at this stage. All the salt will go at the end of the cooking because the salt will start to break down the albumin, the proteins in the egg white, and it will lose its integrity and go watery. Once you've beaten your eggs lightly, now is a game of the heat. I've got myself a solid induction pan here with a fat bottom and no rivets on the inside of the pan. This means the egg isn't going to get caught up in any of those nuts and bolts that you normally have on the inside of your frying pans. We're going to take this onto a medium heat just to warm up. Because the omelette is such a humble, subtle flavour, we're looking to accentuate the egg and flavour the stunning texture that that egg brings. So I'm going extra virgin olive oil. I know technically it's a little bit too hot to be cooking with extra virgin, but it does give it a slight roundness and a slight fruitiness that's stunning with this dish. And a little knob of butter. Now, why am I using 2 different fats? I'm using the butter because it's an indication of heat. It will tell me when it's hot, it will tell me when it's foaming. It's a good visual tool to use. Also, I like the flavour. I like the flavour of olive oil, I like the flavour of butter, so get those both in there. You'll notice I've got all my mise en place ready. My pan is at a medium heat, just foaming. My eggs are ready, my salt and pepper is here, and my parmesan is on the side. Because this is a game of time. As soon as that egg hits the pan, it needs your full attention. So what we're gonna do is just slowly move our Maurice and sort of create these waves of egg around the bottom of the pan. And if you feel like it's setting a little bit too quickly and those curds of egg are being created a little bit too fast, then just take the pan away from the heat. Spread that omelette out. At this stage, it's stunning, it's waved, it's textured. Those little raw bits of egg have found their way to the bottom of the pan to set a stunning sort of protective layer. We're gonna get our salt involved. Tiny pinch of salt. And at this stage now, there's a little bit of steam coming off of it. You'll notice there's not much noise from the pan while I'm cooking this because you don't want aggressive sizzling. You want a setting. You want the foaming butter and egg just to emulsify and collect and create this film on the outside of the omelette. There is some guppings up the side of the pan. I like that because those feathers, those little frills on the outside of the pan will act like closing the envelope, closing that egg up, not let any of that Baverse egg leak out. And you'll notice it's still pretty raw on top. It's pretty shiny. You can still move it around slightly. That's absolutely fine. You take your pan, angle it up, and then with your Maurice, you're just teasing it. You're teasing it away, folding it up and over, just to reveal this very silky, very smooth omelette with no colour whatsoever. Little trick, tiny knob of butter into the pan and you just rub that along the back of the omelette. That just gives an extra bit of glaze and helps that omelette release from the pan. Now I take my Maurice, go around the front of the omelette, I lift up those feathers and pull them in to create that stunning shape. Now with the pan in one hand and your plate in the other, you get them together almost at a 90-degree angle and then you flip the omelette out onto your plate. Now a little chefy tip is to get a little bit of kitchen roll, put it over the omelette and plump up, creating that iconic shape. Now a little bit of butter glazed over the top, giving it another layer of flavour and an amazing shine. And at this stage, you garnish. I've got a little touch of pepper. This is Szechuan pepper, black pepper, and pink peppercorns. I blend it at the start of the month or at the start of the week, depending on how quick I use it, and just keep it in an airtight container. It's fruity, it's got depth, it's great to finish all your classic cookery. Parmesan, aged naturally, just grated over the top. And be as generous as you want with this one. A little added bit of flavor that I personally love as I'm eating it. Truffle oil. And if you're buying truffle oil, do pay a little bit of money for it. Some of the flavorings that they use is just fermented cabbage and garlic. There's no actual truffle in the oil. So go for one with a bit of a bigger price tag and use it sparingly. The residual heat from the outside of that omelette is just lifting the perfume from the Parmesan. It's warming and waking up those flavors from the truffle oil. Wipe on your plate. And with an omelette this rich and decadent, it is customary to finish it with a little bit of greenery. Some go chopped chives. I just like a bit of picked parsley. So pick down your leaves, nice and rustic, 3 or 5, on and around, and that's your omelette done. Super quick, super simple, and if you're gonna be a proper home cook, you should be able to make a stunning French omelette. The Parmesan, the truffle oil, the waves, the texture of the egg, the controlling of the temperature, a touch of salt and a good hit of pepper. That's a proper French omelette with Parmesan and truffle oil. Avant you!